I've decided to make another video because I was in the North Cork town at the 1916 celebrations, and I met a retired politician, and he came over to me and we were talking about the videos, and he sympathised with me for my troubles and my problems and what was done to me through my family situation. But he said to me, I think, Frank, he said, you're attacking the wrong man. I think it's your father and your brothers you should be attacking rather than Egghead. So when I explain my situation, I'm sure he can see my side. So that's why I am here making this video today. I know my father is totally wrong. I know my brothers are totally greedy and have absolutely no respect whatsoever for their good mother, who didn't work. She slaved to build a future for all of us. And my mother went in 10 years and 7 months before she died to make this will, which I now have in my possession. Now, why I have such a grievance with Egghead is the first line of my mother's letter when she wrote to that solicitor's office, or so-called solicitor's office, was, as you are probably aware, myself and my husband don't agree on how to make our will. That was the first conflict of interest that this so-called solicitor's firm have incurred. Here they are working for a husband and wife who are not agreeing on how to make a will. But yet they made the will. They misled the woman. Then, fair enough, if they had made a mistake, they had 10 years and 7 months from the date they made that will till the date that poor woman passed away suddenly. They had 10 years to sort it out, to come back and give her the solution to the problem. But yet, they left it carry on. And they left that poor woman go to her deathbed in confidence, thinking that her will was going to go fully through. The last line of her letter here is, David has given him a site for a shed. She had told him 10 years and 7 months before she died that David had given him a site. Yet, this so-called solicitor's firm, which Egghead is the principal of, was the firm that actually have the will in their possession, and yet takes me into court to say that I have no rights or that I shouldn't be on this property. The last line of the will, the very last line, was machinery, cows, cattle, cash to be divided equally between all three of them. If my mother's name was never on the farm, she slaved for 50 years. She milked the cows, she fed the calves, she turned the calves into cattle. The cattle were sold, they bought the machinery, they bought the products of the farm. And yet, Egghead comes on and insists that after my mother's 50 years of slavery was worth nothing, her life was worth nothing. The woman that went into this particular firm with her cash in her hand to pay for a will, and to think that this dirty, I won't say what, would devalue my mother to that extent and say she was worth nothing. When my mother passed away, you must remember, the so-called solicitor's firm are the family solicitors. He hid the will. He hid the will. I was told by a relative, and I was told by friends of my mother's, that my mother had a will. When we approached the various solicitors in North Cork, fair enough, no other solicitor had a will. But yet, Egghead's firm had a will, but he hid it. And he kept it for 8 months. Why? Because if I had received the will within 6 months of my mother's death, I would have been able to contest it under the 1965 Succession Act, Section 117. But yet, Egghead hid it. When I confronted him and asked him why did he hide the will, his stupid answer, and I see the big thick head of him, and he look out over the desk, I couldn't find you. You must remember, I lived from the day I was born till the day I was put out of that house by the court. I lived and I slept in the one room all my life, 49 years. And yet, Egghead could not find me. But now, when I've no fixed abode, when I'm homeless, when I have nowhere to stay, he can send out fellas with summonses, summons servers, with affidavits and with court orders, in high-ace vans, dressed totally inappropriate, acting like criminals. I'm not saying they're criminals, but acting like criminals. They can all find me. But when he had something of a profit that I could benefit from, he couldn't find me. So now can you see why I have such a grudge against Egghead? In my mother's letter, the first thing she wanted was for me to remain living in the family home. And that was the very first thing that Egghead started, was to get me put out of my family home. He has now made me homeless, landless, penniless, heartless, and a broken man. But I will guarantee you, Egghead, you will not bring me down, because I have not alone the people of Ballygrillahan, but I have the people of Castleroach, I have the people of North Cork, I have the people of the Greater Cork, I have the people of Munster, and I have the people of Ireland behind me. And they are all, you can guarantee they will come behind me, and you will be the one that will fall. Now, people might say that this is a personal grudge I have against Egghead, but I have to put this out there, because since I went on the media, I have a flow of people constantly who, by the way, can all find me, and I'm homeless. They can all still find me, but Egghead couldn't find me when he had something of value for me. But the reason I'm doing this is, I have now found 10 other farming families who are all in a similar situation because of the deceit of this firm. I'm asking anybody, check out the history. Check out Egghead's grandfather. Go back 100 years. We're celebrating the 100 years. Go back 100 years. Check this firm and see what they have done to the people. And see what the people they've made homeless, the property they've taken off of people. And I think it's very important that we all go out there, stand together, and it is now time that we broke this Egghead, and a good tap at the top of his head would do him no harm. Anybody that have any dealings with this firm, please come to me, because we have a very, very good portfolio put together, and I will guarantee ye, if it's the last thing I will do, he might think he brought me down, but by God, then he'll go down before me. Thank you very much, and I hope that people are benefiting from my videos. Thank you.